Greetings and welcome to Minor Hockey Mayhem. I'm your host Joe Branco here at Culturama. Today on MHM we have the very first team rankings of the year. We have a player profile of the week, an interview with the USHL scout, game scores, upcoming tournaments, and our hockey parent tip of the week. Be sure to like and share this video and follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. So let's get going with episode 2 of Minor Hockey Mayhem. Minor Hockey Rankings has provided the first rankings of the 2021 season, but we have our first results. So let's check out the top 10 for each birth year. All right, time for our Minor Hockey Mayhem player profile of the week. This week's profile is Gabe Simpson. I was told recently by a scout that Gabe Simpson is the best 07 defenseman in the West. He has size and power on the blue line and plays like a power forward. Enjoy my interview with Gabe Simpson of the Colorado Thunderbirds. Hi Gabe, thanks so much for joining us and answering some questions for us on Minor Hockey Mayhem. So what team are you playing for this season and how do you guys look so far?
I am playing for the Colorado Thunderbirds U13 AAA hockey team. And this year, we are playing really good. The boys are working hard on and off the ice. We're ranked 14th so far, so I think we're definitely off to a good start this year.
So I've been told from scouts that you are the best 07 defense in the West. When you think of your current strengths and weaknesses as a player, what do you think are your top 3 strengths?
First, I'd like to say thank you, but I'd say that my top 3 strengths have to be my vision on the ice, my skating ability and speed, as well as my shot from the point.
Who has inspired you most in your hockey journey so far?
The people that have most inspired me through my hockey journey have to be my mom, because she pushes me to do my best at everything. My dad, because he pushes me the most in hockey, as well as Seth Jones, because I feel my style of play is similar to his, and I really look up to him as a player.
What is your go-to pregame meal?
My go-to pregame meal has to either be chicken fried rice with extra chicken, protein, as well as shrimp scampi with a little bit more protein and carbs.
All right, who are the toughest forwards you've defended against?
Well, I've played against Grant Young. He's one of the best 06 forwards in the U.S. Trey Hinton, because he's like Grant, but with a wicked set of hands. Merrick Hayduke, because, number one, he's Merrick Hayduke, and he's one of the best players I've ever played with and against.
So what advice can you give young defensemen who want to play AAA level hockey as a defenseman?
To any young defenseman, I say never stop working on the things that you are worst at. Defense is one of the hardest positions to learn and master, so find great coaches to work with. I've worked with some great coaches such as Jan Heda, Milan Hajduk, Dave Fromm, and Gino Parrish.
What is your favorite hockey memory?
My favorite hockey memory has to be the first time that I got a hat trick as a defenseman against my former team in a tournament.
So which arena was your all-time favorite to play a game at?
My all-time favorite rink that I've played in has to be the Onyx in Rochester, Michigan. Their ice is very well maintained and it's a very cool building to play in.
So do you have any routines or superstitions for game day?
I always have to have a clean tape job and I always listen to music before games.
What are your next level hockey goals?
I would like to play for the U.S. National Development Program, then go to the NCAA, and finally play in the NHL.
Thank you so much, Gabe, for joining us, and we wish you all the best in the season and in your hockey career moving forward. If you would like to nominate a youth hockey player to be profiled and interviewed here on Minor Hockey Mayhem, just send us your nomination to culturama@yahoo.com with that player's email contact. So we are very excited here on Minor Hockey Mayhem to be kicking off a new segment, getting valuable insights from hockey scouts. This week, we are happy to be joined by USHL scout David Fromm. Today, I'm joined by David Fromm. Dave is a Western U.S. USHL scout from Central Scouting, coach, lots of other things too in the world of hockey. But anyway, welcome. Thank you for joining the show.
Hey man, I appreciate it. I love the show. I love what you're doing. I love what you're going to be doing here in the future with the show.
Thank you. As a USHL scout, what do you do, and what are you looking for?
Okay, well, we obviously we put together lists and then go watch tons and tons of players across the Western U.S. We have scouts all over the country, obviously, that are watching. You contact coaches to get their evaluation of the players that we should be looking at. So you try to filter out as much as you can, so you're not running everywhere looking at every player. You try to process that with other professionals in the sport that can help you kind of fine-tune your list. And what we're looking for, obviously, is you got skill to skill. Players, to get to that level, they're all about the same. Skill sets are the same physically. Some are bigger, some are faster, some are quicker, but that skill set is there. So what we're looking for is kind of intangible stuff. What's their hockey IQ like? I really focus on, when you get apples to apples, on body language, how a kid is interacting after a good play, a bad play. When they go back to the bench, how are they looking at their teammates if they made a bad pass? If the coach is talking to them, how do they interact with the coach? They're making eye contact, or their shoulders down. Those types of things are really important when you're going to move a player into that next level of competition, which is going to be highly stressful. They're going to be living on their own. So you need to know you have a kid with character along with the skill.
When it comes to red flags, so you mentioned one of them. What are some other ones that people should remember when they're developing?
Yeah, really the me attitude, like it's all about me. What can I do? How am I going to be better? How can I stand out? The hockey is that weird sport where you have a tryout process where you have to stand out, right? Mm-hmm. So you have to be, for other terms, you have to be a little bit selfish in that tryout process. Get yourself noticed in different ways. But then when you get to the team concept, it's all about team, and that's what I love about this sport. It's team first. Not who you are. It's what you're going to do for your team, how you're going to make your team, and that's really what you're looking for. Again, we're talking about the same level type player's skill set. So you go back to that body language, that attitude, that air of confidence. Is that ego driven, or is it like, I'm here for my team? So you want good body language, not bad body language. You want somebody who's going to be positive with their teammates. Really that's what you're looking for, is that good character, that good citizen.
Right. What are some of the strongest programs for player development out in the West?
Oh, geez, man. It's really come a long way here in the West since I moved out here in '99. You go, LA Kings have emerged as a very high-end program, top-level players that are getting drafted now into the NHL, players that are playing in the USHL that are quality minute players, not just fillers, so to speak. Anaheim also answering the bell in California has turned out some spectacular players, a very strong program. Then you meander down to Dallas. That's incredible what they've done down there, how they produced athletes. And you get into Minnesota, you got FCA, which is a new program that's really evolving in that 18-16 world. Shattuck, of course, is always going to be what Shattuck is. It's a spectacular place to play hockey. It's great coaching, great ice time. Minnesota in general, obviously, has got all the association hockey, so that's great. Colorado has got great programs. They've got multiple programs. You've got the Thunderbirds, the Rough Riders, the Rampage, the Tigers being the oldest. Thunderbirds probably at this point being the strongest. The Rough Riders and Rampage are right there with talent. So the West has really come on. Phoenix is also good. Not going to downplay them. They've got pockets of players that are spectacular as well. So the West has really come on as a hockey power, I think.
Nice. my last question is around parents. My understanding is that from talking to you and some other folks, that parents do have an impact on kind of how you're analyzing a certain prospect. So what, either through an experience or whatever, like what experiences have you had with parents that have had a negative, and have they negatively impacted your decision actually to, pick up a prospect or something?
Well, at the youth level, you try not to let the parents totally affect that, because you can't hold a child accountable for a parent's behavior. But when you get into that junior level where it becomes a business, that's how it is. You have parents that we kind of in the back terms call them super agents. They're always hanging around. They show up and watch every practice. They're at the front door when the game's over. They're in earshot of every coach's conversation. And then they're making emails and phone calls and trying to dictate or manipulate what's happening with the team, and more importantly, what's happening with their own child. So they put no offense to them, it's their child. They put their child ahead of everything else, right? It's my son. My son should be on the first line. My son should be on the power play. How come he wasn't out there with 2 minutes left in the game? Those types of things will drive a coach nuts, and honestly will get them not picked if that happens. And there's a myriad of parents, players that are at the highest level that you've heard about, and those are true conversations that they have with those parents. Like, you have to stay away. You have to allow your child to develop. How else are you going to create a good citizen and a good character person if they're constantly being prodded, poked, and fixed? Like, oh, don't do that, don't do that. They have to evolve themselves. And the younger they can do that, the better. The more the parents can step away and just be a parent and enjoy the fact that their son is playing a sport they love, and or daughter is playing a sport they love, and just enjoy that. Because your kid will grow up, and then you'll wake up as a parent one day, your kid's 23 and you missed out 7 years of their hockey and the enjoyment that it came with it. So I think parents can be very detrimental to their child's success if they're overly involved, overtly with the coaching staff. And it's okay to be behind the scenes, talking to your kid, helping your kid, bringing up private lessons and do those things. But the minute you start trying to be the agent, becomes the problem. And there's tons. You know that. You see them every day at the rinks.
Oh, yeah. And even myself, I've learned a lot too, right? Like, I used to be a lot more aggressive doing that type of stuff. Now, when it takes some discipline too on my own end, I'm like, okay, I feel bad that he's sat for half a game, or whatever it is, but these are moments for him to develop, and between his coach and their team and all that stuff. And me looking from the outside in, as I talked to you before, like, it doesn't matter. I don't understand what their focus is and that type of stuff. And it's not my place to be upset or have a problem with that. Right. So, but it takes discipline. So, I know myself too. So any other parent out there,
and there's internal side. You internally are upset. You're like, I'm a parent. I have a daughter that plays. She's, fortunately she's playing Division I hockey now. And it was the same. She'd get done with the game and I have my own opinion, and she would ask, and no matter what, no matter when, I would return the question is, how do you think you played? Yeah, I never put my 2 cents in until she gave me her full process. And there were times where I thought she may have played absolutely awful, and her what came out of her was, I was great. Did you see that one play? And so I just let it go, because you can ruin moments and ruin those times if you interject your personal opinion or your personal thoughts. For me, it was always, did you show good character? Were you a good teammate? Did you hustle and work hard? If you did those things, whatever happened, you didn't score, you team lost, those are life qualities that will matter above and beyond the hockey world.
I love that. That's a perfect spot to end on. I love that note. So I really appreciate you taking the time to answer some questions, Dave. I want to have you back for sure. I think have you and maybe Gino come next week. And thanks so much. So anyway, take care. Thanks a lot for joining us.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Take care.
Take care. Yeah, bye. Welcome to Game Corner. Let's check out some of the game scores from the last week. All right, let's take a look at some upcoming tournaments. So we have the Motown Tournament and the Notre Dame Shootout, October 16th through 18th. I know a lot of people in those tournaments, so good luck. We have the Eastern Exposure Cup AAA. That's October 30th through November 1st. And the Eastern Exposure American Cup, also October 30th through November 1st. All right, now it's time for our hockey parent tip of the week. As you heard from Dave Fromm of the USHL earlier, don't ruin a moment of positivity. If your son or daughter is excited about their performance or a certain play, join in on that excitement. Don't use that moment to transition to negativity. Maybe save those comments for another time. They need to know that you are there to support them and share in their success. You'll find that your nuggets of advice and things to work on will be much better received if you've always been there to positively support them and the progress that they've made. Enjoy our Mayhem clip of the week.
Let's go get him, Easton. Come on, buddy. If Easton scores. Oh! Sick! Oh! Sick nasty!
Okay, thank you so much for watching our episode 2 of Minor Hockey Mayhem. Be sure and give us a like and leave a comment below and let us know your favorite part of the show. Share with all of your hockey friends looking for their weekly minor hockey fix. If you are interested in becoming a sponsor, please send us an email. Also, if you're a coach or a scout or a hockey industry person and you'd like to be on this show as well, go ahead and reach out to us. Good luck to all of you on your games this week, especially those playing in Motown and Notre Dame. And we'll see you on the ice.